Girl, girl, Bianca. Dempsey says hello to everyone. Good evening, Osprey. Osprey, good to see you. See everybody, even the people in the back. Rock family. We are really a family, and it does make my heart so good to see you guys here. All right. Can you guys hear me? I think you can hear me. Should be able to hear me. Hello. Okay, let's get going. I am doing good. I hope everybody else is doing good. Christopher is having dreams that he's in a snowstorm. Listen, I don't know what to say about that. We've got gorgeous clear skies waiting for the spring bowl. 60 degrees, 82 in Kansas. 82 in Kansas. Okay, let's get to going. I want to get to everything. So there were some documents dropped yesterday by Tad's attorney. I'm not going to say who shared them, but one of the crew here in Rock Chalk Family shared them. I did not find them on my own, but they were just dropped yesterday, and I didn't want to do another live back-to-back. Listen, if I could do a live in an hour, it would be awesome. I don't know. It's just hard, because when people come in late, then I feel like I got to stay for them, and I'm going to really try hard today, because I know an hour live, a 3-hour live is really hard for people. But just know, at any time, you're not going to hurt my feelings. If you do leave the live, it's okay. You can do that. And leave the live and come back if that's what you want to do. Okay? You will not hurt my feelings. Just FYI. Okay. It's good to see everybody. Let's just get going. As always, this channel is Oliver's channel. And everybody equally works on this case, the Kansas Mom's case. So, let's get started. There seems to be a little bit of a lag again, as usual. Let's see, why is it not showing? Yeah, that's a big lag. Okay. I'm going to start reading, but if you go to the OSCN, it's there. Comes now the defendant Tad Cullum, by and through his attorney of record, Joy E. Mescal, and hereby moves to recuse and disqualify the Honorable John K. Parsley, District Judge, from presiding over his case. And then it tells the rule. I'm not going to go into all that. As grounds for this motion, the defendant shows the following facts and procedural background. Number 1, defendant Tad Burt Cullum was charged in the above-captioned case with 2 counts of murder in the first degree, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder in the first degree on April 12, 2024. Number 2, defendant Cullum seeks the recusal of Judge Parsley on the grounds that the judge impartially might be questioned due to prior representation of co-defendant Tiffany Michelle Adams. And then it has the case number in Cimarron County. This motion is made pursuant to the relevant statutes and case law governing judicial qualifications. Well, while we're here on this right here, if the judge was Tiffany's attorney, wouldn't that make him disqualified for doing her case too? Listen, folks, I know I say this all the time, but who don't think that this case should be moved completely out of this area? I mean, everybody knows everybody. What are your chances of getting a jury that don't know one of the 5? That would be my first question. And to the family, you want to make sure that the charges stick, everything goes the way it's supposed to. And I don't know. I'm just Hey Jane, Bianca, good to see ya. Make sure I get everybody here. Just gonna, we don't want to go to Woodward. I mean, we already know the sheriff in Woodward. He's not there. So he's not running that jail. He's out of the country. So, everybody that said before, move it to Woodward. Well, I'd say let's not move it to Woodward because we got problems there too. We got a sheriff that's not present. So, Oklahoma City. Just go to Oklahoma City. Seems like all these attorneys are coming from Oklahoma City. All the money that they get, why can't they pay for the witnesses to come there? The families, I know it would be harder on the families to make it to Oklahoma City for the trial. Maybe we could help with that burden to make sure that justice is served, right? Okay, I might not be able to keep up the chat today. You guys are really talking and I like it. So just know that I'm paying attention, but I'm going to be reading. So each and one of you are important to me and the family. Okay, so let's get going. Let's get back to the screen here. Okay, number 3. Under Oklahoma law, every person is entitled to have an impartial judge preside over his case. The Oklahoma Constitution, Article 2, Section 6, Title 20, Section 1401 mandates that a judge who is interested in the case or proceedings or the result thereof is disqualified to preside over the case. Additionally, and then canon of the Code of Judicial Conduct requires a judge to disqualify himself in any proceeding in which the judge's impartiality might reasonably be questioned. So Tad's saying because the judge was Tiffany's attorney, why wouldn't it be a conflict of interest for Tiffany too? And all of them. Makes no sense, right? Let's see here. Listen, anything that out there that would leave question for an appeal, just take care of it. Move it. Get that out there. The prior representation of co-defendant Tiffany Adams by Judge Parsley in a civil case creates a situation in which the judge's impartiality might reasonably be questioned. The guiding principle is that justice must not only be done, but must also appear to be done, as the Oklahoma Supreme Court stated in Dollar-Hyde PC versus Tao. A fundamental requirement of due process is a fair and impartial trial. A neutral and detached judiciary is imperative to ensure procedural fairness to individual litigants and to preserve public confidence in the integrity of the judicial process. Every litigant is entitled to nothing less than the cold neutrality of an impartial judge. A challenge to assigned judge for want of impartiality presents an issue of constitutional dimensions, which must be resolved and the rule memorialized of record after a meaningful evidential hearing. The request for recusal may not be ignored. The procedure to challenging a judge's impartiality in Oklahoma involves a process as outlined in Oklahoma R, District Court 15, and Oklahoma Statute 10, 12, Sorry, somebody's texting. The party must make an in-camera request to the judge to disqualify or to transfer the case to another judge. If after a hearing on a written motion to recuse following the denial of an informal Rule 15 request, the judge again declines to recuse, the party may then represent the earlier formal request to the chief judge of the county where the case is pending. Who is the chief judge of that county? I don't know. If the latter hearing should also result in an adverse order, the aggrieved litigant may then seek relief by mandamus in this court in criminal cases. Any petition for writ and mandamus to review the denial of recusal motion is made to the Court of Criminal Appeals. And then it goes on to say, the court went on to say, the continued participation by a judge against whom recusal is sought while motions to disqualify are pending results in a deprivation of due process and constitute reversible error. Thus, if this court were to deny this formal motion to recuse, it cannot participate further in this case until the recusal issue is heard by the chief judge. So we might not be having court on April 16th. I don't know. And then if the chief judge denies the motion until the Court of Criminal Appeals rules on a petition for writ of mandamus. I know I'm probably saying that wrong, so it is what it is. When a Rule 15 proceeding to seek disqualification of a trial judge is initiated, the trial court must refrain from presiding over the case until the disqualification ruling is memorialized and the movement has, at the movement option, exhausted the Rule 15 procedure. 6. Consistent with well-settled principles, recusal is not limited to situations in which a judge harbors actual bias or hostility towards a party. The appearance of impartiality, of lack of impartiality or bias is sufficient. The Supreme Court made this clear. In disqualification proceedings, the courts must be sensitive to the appearances of possible impropriety as well as the actual occurrences. The purpose of disqualification when impartiality is called into doubt is to preserve the purity and impartiality of the court and to foster the respect of confidence of the people for its decisions. Where there are circumstances of such a nature as to cause doubts as to a judge's partiality, it is the judge's duty to disqualify, notwithstanding the judge's personal belief that the judge is unprejudiced, unbiased, and impartial. When such circumstances exist, the error, if any, should be made in favor of disqualification rather than against it. Justice must satisfy the appearance of justice, even though the stringent rule may sometimes bar trial judges who have no actual bias and who would do their very best to weigh the scales of justice equally between contending parties. Number 7. At a minimum, the court's actions raise appearance of impropriety and partially against defendants, despite the fact that the court believes it's harbor no actual basis of precise against Mr. Coleman. Any doubts whether the court should recuse must be resolved in favor of defendant and compel disqualification. Otherwise, Mr. Coleman will be deprived of his Fourth Amendment and his state constitutional right to a fair and impartial trial before a fair and impartial judge. And in any event, should the court deny this formal motion to recuse, it cannot participate any further in this case until Mr. Coleman's right to review of such denial is exhausted, whereof defendant asks that the motion be granted. This was filed yesterday. And there's some footnotes on here, but it's not showing them. So let me look online because it shows footnotes, but there's nothing at the bottom of the. Just making sure, guys, real quick. Because on the screen, it's not showing it, and it's not showing it on here. This is my problem. Okay, I'm going to chat right now. I'm going to you guys right now. This is my problem that I have. That I've had a problem all along with is everybody knows everybody's business down there, it seems like. Okay? I've said from the get-go, to get proper justice, I feel like it should be moved. You're talking about a small area. I don't know how in the world they would ever be able to do 5 in one trial. They each, I believe, will get their own trial. And so you've got to have juries for all 10 trials. And I don't think your jury pool is that big to be able to do that. So Christopher says, Woodward, go there and commit crimes. I know of police connected to Yellowstone National Park. You can get away with any crime there. There's no way to form a jury there. Oh, wow. We're not going to teach people how to be criminals here. Hey, Beach Baby, good to see you. Hey, Leroy. Leroy says, I see a separation, by the way. Tad and Tiff coming. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to become the blame game. And what really sucks about the blame game, and this is just my opinions. Let me throw that on there. This is my opinions and my opinions only. If you don't like my opinions, you feel free to express your opinions there. If you want me to drop the link, I'll drop the link for you. I have no problem doing that. But it's my opinion that everybody kind of knows everybody there. And with that being said, I mean, could you possibly get people that is going to sway away into making these people not guilty? Or will we have this is where I was getting to with Paul Grice. He talks about the struggle he was having with Veronica. She was fighting for her life. She was giving him one hell of a fight. He could not see what was going on with Jillian. And then he recalls being in the trailer, feeling like her eyes are fluttering, and he don't want her to wake up in the freezer. And so he goes over and stabs her more. If you don't think there's an angle coming from that way of nobody can actually see Tad doing it, I mean, I know there's DNA, I get it, but what charge will that be? What can they prove? And again, there's been so much that was released right in the very beginning that now we're finding out to be true, that everybody in this area knew. And Deb's always got her favorite thing that she loves to post because, hey, I guess everybody knew that day. That place has no community. There is so way form a jury, so no crimes. Christopher, you're getting off track and you're going to put me over an hour, okay? We got areas in the UK where we can do whatever because the area is dark, and that's where dark is and hidden goes. And that, what do you mean, Christopher? Yes, Christopher. Christopher says, I'm into education, going to any fool that will listen to me. Okay. Okay. So that's where we're at with that. Like, I think it should be moved. And Leroy, that's my whole thing. I think they're going to push it all on Grice. I'm not an attorney. I'm just a lady here, okay? And I just want to say, the people that was at the scene is not saying, even though they got plea bargains. I mean, what did Cora see? Because everything I see, she's trying to protect her old man, and nobody can try to put Tad doing anything. And we know Tiffany was there because Cora gave Tiffany the stun gun. Like, I'm not going to go into the whole case and keep going over the case. There's just a lot going on here. And could they possibly lower his charges because he had DNA? What if, I mean, we know what we know and how horrifying and how horrible this crime was. But what if the DNA on his shirt, who moved Jillian in the trailer? Because the way I understand it, Paul Grice says that Jillian was in the corner of that trailer. And I mean, what has Cora given to get this 30-year plea bargain? I don't know. I mean, is she having convenient amnesia? Listen, we used to have somebody in the channel that had convenient amnesia, okay? And it's really not a thing. It's just really not a thing. Yes, it's never snowed where Christopher's at. He's going to be crying today because it's so hot. He needs the air conditioner. Yes, I'm going to blame you for going too long. You can go over an hour if you choose to do so. I know. I know sometimes, you guys are in here, we're talking, and we just continue to talk, and I get it. And Leroy, I agree. The bitch is lying, and she's not telling everything. Not telling everything. And you do find a lot that in a trial that they'll start going against each other. And if they can, listen, you have to convict somebody beyond a reasonable doubt So if the attorneys can put any kind of reasonable doubt in there, then you got a problem. And just a quick note, if you go back to Casey Anthony, everybody knows what she did to her child, okay? The problem is the DA got overconfident and tried to go with too high of a charge. And when he went with too high of a charge, she walked. Guess who else did that? O.J. Simpson. That DA too. Not only did they have a lying police officer that planted evidence, but they also tried to do too high of a charge that they couldn't prove. And he walked too. Now, I've heard, and I'm going to make this straight, and I can't make it any straighter. I don't have mercy on any of the five at all. I think they should be locked away and never let out again. I do not have mercy on them at all. What they did was horrible, should have never happened. They have to pay for their actions. I do think the justice system needs rehauled in a whole lot of different areas, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. How did those crime scene photos get shared to the public first day of murders? Oh, yeah. Telling you. And, the young gentleman that told me stuff about the skidster, the hammer, Blacktop Road. You've got that. Then you've got the auto recording of the farmer, Larry. I'm just going to say Larry. Y'all know who it is. Hello. Just long time, no talk. Hi, Micah. It's good to see you. Mayo nights. 40 minutes left, laugh out loud. Yeah, I'll never make an hour. Like, I won't ever make an hour. Hey, lovely Justice. It's good to see you. Justice for the Idaho 4. Maddie, Kaylee, Xanon, and Ethan. That would be the Idaho 4. I'm following that case too. Jane says, Rock has no mercy on those bad people. I do not. And people that's running around saying I do, you are so far from wrong. I think your problem is you just don't want me telling the truth about everything. And very transparent. The truth needs to be told about everything. I mean, hiding stuff is not going to help. Feed them air, ink, and weeds. Listen, I was just watching, and I can't say the word very good, so I'm just going to tell you. So this lady in California married a guy in prison that was there for 4 murders, okay? He got 4 life sentences. And they still have conjugal visits for 30 to 40 hours. And his wife came to visit, and he strangled her. This is just like November in California. It's prison. And you get 30 to 40 hours in an apartment-like area on the prison. That's a hell no. And why is that going on? Surely Oklahoma don't got that stuff going on. I don't know about your prisons there. But I couldn't even believe it when I saw it. As a matter of fact, I'll show you guys real quick. This is just... Oh. No, I won't show you because it'll make me go over. Let me go on to the next thing I want to show you. Because this is a positive. This is a positive. And I'm going to have to take a drink while I'm doing this. First, I'm going to bitch about this article because I can. Let's see here. I'm going to give you a chance to come up. It should be on your screen. I am sharing. Boy, what a lag. I don't understand. Okay. It says here, bill would rename highway for murdered Kansas moms. The problem I have, a bill currently in the Oklahoma legislature would rename a section of the highway in honor of Veronica Butler and Jillian. They did not spell Jillian's first name right, and they did not spell her last name right. I really have a problem with that. And I let them know. I did hit them up in Messenger on their Facebook and said, please go correct it. Well, don't look like they corrected it. So, anyway, we're going to read this. I cannot see chat. I will come back to chat and catch up with you. Let's read this. Bill would rename the highway for the murdered Kansas moms. It's already been through the Senate. The governor signed it. It's got to go through. It's been to the House. It's got to go through the Senate. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. A bill currently in the Oklahoma legislature would rename a section of the highway in honor Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly. Again, they spelled Jillian's first name wrong. They spelled her last name wrong. Let's go fix that. Section 13 of Oklahoma House Bill 1486, governing the name of memorial roads and bridges, would rename a portion of Oklahoma State Highway 95 in honor of the two women who were killed almost 1 year ago today. So here's the section of highway that they want to rename. It's going from the Four Corners to Eva. Okay. There you go. Let's see here. Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly spelt wrong there, of Hugoton, were reported missing on March 30th, 2024. We're almost to that date. It's so sad. The two women were traveling to Oklahoma to visit Butler's children. Their car was found abandoned on Highway 95. We know that the two women were there to pick up the children to take them to a birthday party. Okay. Their bodies were later found, and 5 people are currently jailed, awaiting trial for their deaths earlier this month. Veronica Butler's mother filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the 5, which, listen, I agree. I agree with a wrongful death lawsuit. You just have to sue the right people. The bill passed unanimously in the Oklahoma House. It now moves on to the Senate. It's signed by the governor. Oh, I thought it was already signed. Sorry, I thought it was already signed. It's signed by the governor. The section of Highway 95 from the Four Corners to 2 miles into Texas County, Oklahoma, would be renamed to Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly, spelled the right way. See, they caught it down here. Spelled the right way. Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly Memorial Highway. I'm all for it. Do it. I think you should do it. For more Kansas news, click here. Keep up with the latest breaking news by downloading our mobile app. Okay, there you go. So that's the only thing I found on the Kansas Moms cases so far. So let me get rid of that. I also, well, I'm going to go to chat. If you haven't watched the Idaho 4 or know anything about the Idaho 4, that's another very disturbing case that is going all different ways. Douglas, I don't know if he's in here. I can't see chat right now because I'm obviously somewhere else. But, oh, crap. Oh, no. Do I got 2 up here now? Where am I? What is going on here? Oh, you got me. Okay, next. What the heck? I'll be back. Hopefully that fixed it. Sometimes, I don't know why it does too. But anyway, there's a guy out there making some fire music. Yeah, maybe he'll make some for, I know his hands are full. But anyway, I'm going to play this while I go through the chat and catch up with the chat.
Blood spilling, smoke's rising high. 4 lives gone, left the truth to die. Bad boys smiling, claiming it's clean, but they stuck that sheath in a made-up scene. Fingerprints vanish, alibis burn. The whole damn game took a crooked turn. They lit the fire, fanned the flames. Hanged a man, no guilt, no shame. Outlaws don't beg, outlaws don't kneel, but they'll bury you deep when the truth gets real. DNA whispers through the courthouse halls. Justice ain't blind, it just don't see it all. I saw the light, sunrise, sipping on a 40 by the muddy riverside. Baptized in holy water and shine, with the hounds running wild, saved by the sound when the truth breaks ground. The wind howling like it's calling from the cloud. The devil went down to Idaho, but we held out our ground. This ain't their country, this is God's country. Sheriff's handshake slicker than oil, turning truth to poison soaked soil. Evidence grows like weeds in the field, built from lies they want us to yield. Grief on parade, tears sold on the side, while the guilty walk free and the innocents tied. Bride's chain, but the chain's all wrong. This ain't a trial, it's a backroom song. Outlaws don't cry, outlaws don't pray, but even a wolf gets lost in the fray. Jury see tears but forget the facts. A railroad job and there's no way back. I saw the light in the sunrise, sipping on a 40 by the muddy riverside. Baptized in holy water and shine, with the hounds running wild, saved by the sound when the truth breaks ground. The wind howling like it's calling from the clouds. The devil went down to Idaho, but we held our ground. This ain't their country, this is God's country. Wash blood with a crooked stream, can't silence the truth when it won't stop scream. The gavel's a hammer, but the nails don't hold, when the whole damn case was bought and sold. I saw the light in the sunrise, sipping on a 40 by the muddy riverside. Baptized in holy water and shine, with the hounds running wild, saved by the sound when the truth breaks ground. The wind howling like it's calling from the cloud. The devil went down to Idaho, but we held our ground. This ain't their country, this is God's country. They stacked the deck, loaded up the dice, sold out the truth for a courtroom heist. They call it justice, but it's all smoke and glass. When the guilty walk free, the innocent won't last. This ain't justice, it's a circus in a courtroom, and I ain't buying tickets to this freak show.
Again, thank you, Douglas, for allowing us to use your music. And thank you for your service. A Navy vet, has a day job, likes to make music, and he's also in the Navy Reserves. Great guy. Great guy. He was in here yesterday. I saw his music. So listen, I think God led me to him. I don't know how he ever showed up in something that on my homepage to look at, and I went there, and he's not out to get subs. He said that straight up. He's not out to get subs, but I think his music is that good. And listen, folks, we all know that we have to hold our judicial system accountable. You know, we got this Ohio case that we've been digging deep into. That's just a sad case too. 13-year-old girl. Rumor has it that the grandma was at one time beat her with a toaster. Teacher turned it into CPS twice. And this poor girl was living with her grandma, was taken by her dad, and sexually abused, cut her hands off, and almost decapitated her head. Somewhere the system failed that poor girl. And people are in outrage in Ohio. As a matter of fact, tomorrow at 10, they're gonna hold a news conference because it's minor. it's minors involved. CPS says they've never got reports. We got a teacher that came on. We showed it yesterday. She said she reported it twice. We got the grandma herself saying that CPS came twice. And yes, I chastised her. I knew the law. Listen, I can't get the chastised out of my brain. And where them words come from, I don't know. So, looky here. We're at 35 minutes, and I'm going to show you something. I hope that, how do I say this? I say this all the time. Good people make bad mistakes. I'm not saying killers, okay? I'm sorry. They're not dropping in into my line here of who I feel bad for, okay? But, some people get into drugs. We don't know their history, their life, and what brought them down the path that they came. If you ever get a chance, Melissa Etheridge went to the Kansas prison, and she talked to some of the women. And one of the women, this baby got murdered, and she never got over it, and she just went to drugs. So, trying not to judge somebody on we don't know what their life went. But if you're out murdering people or sexually abusing people or anything like that, you should be locked up. And this whole apartment-like conjugal visits and, even the canteen. I mean, I don't understand it. And, and I understand that they're trying to set people up for when they're free and they get back out there. This guy in California, literally, and listen, and I did hear, and I believe it to be true, that a lot of women marry men in jail, in prison. Why? I don't know. I find it weird. But they start writing. They find a common ground. They like each other. They get married so they can go visit. But you get conjugal visits? Like, why even send them to prison if you're gonna cater to them? I don't understand. Anyway. Okay, I see something. Hold on. I want to show you guys this. I just find it appalling. And to people that's been to prison, I'm not saying this against you, but these people, like the 5 that did this horrible crime, I'm not even okay with the 30 year, okay? I'm not okay with the 30 year plea bargain. I'm going to show you guys this real quick because this is unbelievable. And I'm so glad. I think it was Maya Knights that said Oklahoma does not allow this. Thank goodness. I mean, I know sometimes I'm all over the place, but sometimes I just want you guys to see the bullshit that's out here. It's really happening. This is happening.
A notorious LA killer serving life in prison without the possibility of parole reportedly strangled his wife to death during a conjugal visit. 54-year-old David Brinson was convicted in the 1990 execution-style murders of 4 men in the Mid-Wilshire district. Authorities say last November, while at Mule Creek State Prison in Northern California, he told officers his 62-year-old wife, Stephanie, had passed out during a conjugal visit. She was declared dead at the scene. 4 months later, a coroner confirmed that she was strangled to death. The Amador County District Attorney is awaiting the prison's full report before filing charges against Brinson. Brinson has since been transferred to a state prison in Stockton.
Now to a KCRA3 exclusive investigation. We reported first last week the November death of a woman at Mule Creek State.
Okay, so basically what I'm saying is, why are we catering to some of these guys that's never going to get out? And if you go listen to Law and Crime, they do a whole 1 hour interview. I'm not going to do that to you because I'm trying to be in and out in an hour. It'd be the first time ever. So, and we got 20 minutes left. We're at 39:44. But my deal is, why are we making it easy for these people? after they do such horrible crimes. Such horrible crimes. And we're all about their rights. So Deb C's back to the Ohio case. I just wanted you guys to see what's out there. Like, so we got people in prisons that's getting 30 to 40 hours in an apartment-like setting, and they try to allow the prisoner their privacy. So they try not to bother the prisoner. You got to go look at it. It's that long crime. It's crazy. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're in prison and you get 30 to 40 hours in an apartment-like setting, and you don't want to invade their privacy. You know, I don't understand. So back to Deb C. Deb C, her heart and soul is child trafficking. That's what really gets her brain going. There's a lot that she's uncovering with this Ohio case. It's very tragic. The rumor has it that, you know, with the Facebook and all that. Now, I'm going to say rumor. I like to have receipts, okay? And I saw it on a news clip, and I know it's in the Facebooks, but supposedly the grandma had 4 adults living there. One of them was a SA. The other one had a felony. And listen, I'm not going to say just because somebody has a felony they're a bad person, because I absolutely disagree with that. Okay? Good people make bad decisions or whatever, okay? But not in these horrible crimes that's going on. I can't even focus on that. But the whole grandma in Ohio, you know, she's showing no emotions. She's saying that she had the police handcuff her for her safety. Listen, we went on Facebook and we was watching a live. They were filming it live, and this grandma had bear spray. They knocked it out of her hand. I'm going to say that the crowd wanted to beat the shit out of this grandma. It was obvious. It was obvious. The child's mom was there, who hadn't had her custody of her 13-year-old daughter since she was 9 months old. And she's on the scene, causing a scene, threatening her mom. Like, it's been crazy to watch that case. Hey, Bright Guy, I see you here. And listen, I am only going an hour today, guys. I'm doing that for you. I could talk to you guys all day long. I really could. Real nice. Woohoo! Brian's puppy is collar free. All right. No collar. Like it. Love it. Is Lady okay, Brian? She's asking. Okay, Christopher says prison should not be recess for crimes. It's supposed to rehabilitate for being set free with lessons learned. Well, okay, so this guy, when you go to Law and Crime and they do the whole story on him, his wasn't considered. The only thing that kept you from having these cordial visits or conical visits, whatever they're called, was SA cases and horrific crimes. Well, this guy went over to a drug dealer's house, thought this guy was selling drugs and wanted the money in the drugs, and the guy didn't have any. He had 3 friends over. He had all these guys get on their knees, and he shot them in the back of their head. But that wasn't a horrific crime. And he's allowed cordial visits. I don't understand. And listen, and if you ask the people that's been to prison, they'll tell you it's hell, it's horrible. I have friends that work in Topeka, and they say it's horrible. It's horrible living conditions. Well, you're in prison. I don't understand. Yes, you have rights. Yes, you're a human. I get that. But why are we accommodating you with your chips and your soda and all that? And apartment-like settings. I don't know. This makes no sense to me. Okay, Deb C, but the mom just saw her on the 15th. So what happened from the 15th to the 18th? Well, and the auntie got on there and said that, you know, the mom hadn't seen her since the TikTok party, which was over 5 years ago. So I don't know who's telling the truth or not. I mean, we can only go by what they're reporting, and that came out of the mother's mouth. Kai Monty. Am I saying that right? Gosh, I'm going to say the girl's name right. Kai Monty? Anyway, her mother She wasn't the one raising her. Okay, we are now back to where a scab is gonna start again. Uh-oh. Gotta keep her from licking it, Brian. Death row inmates in California don't get conjugal visits, but a dude with 4 life sentences gets it. Yes. I don't know. It was very disturbing, but I sit and I watched the news clip, and then I went and watched the whole long crime thing. I was in such disbelief. Such disbelief. Brian, if you have some Vaseline, at least put that on there where the dog don't lick it. Try to keep lady from licking her wounds, because that's natural for them to do that. No, I'm going to order new Vaseline. Bow. Now, he's saying now. Okay, I got to get with y'all. Yes, Brian, she'll be okay. I agree. Okay. That was the second conjugal visit murder in 2024 in the same prison. First wife was stabbed to death. So this is just crazy. And they say it's an apartment-like setting. So what? They got a fridge, they got a stove, they got a bed, they got a TV. What? What? I don't know. And who's paying for that? The taxpayer dollars. And I agree with Christopher. You know, you're trying to rehabilitate people to get them back into society, to be contributing to society, not be a nuisance to society. But how far do you go with that? Nona, that is KM de odd. We know when someone is getting some. Yeah, I find that really hard to believe. And I guess my brain just comes from a different space, because when I was researching last night, I couldn't sleep. And so I see somebody ask me about my headaches. I'm still having really bad headaches. They're not at the migraine status at this moment, but they do get there a lot. So I am going to go to a neurologist. My doctor is setting it up. On a good note, my daughter's dog was found. One of the rescues that we had talked to happened to see it posted today, and it was like 48 minutes. And that rescue sent my daughter a notice, and it was in a horrible part of town. So I had her on Facebook, or on FaceTime Live on her iPhones, because she was going to a really bad part of town, pregnant, by herself. She's not even supposed to be out of the house. And there was no way I could catch up to her. And then she set me down in the damn car, and I was livid, because I wanted to see exactly what she was doing to make sure nothing happened. Let's see here. It's a double wide trailer with all the works in CT. There was a row of 6 of them, inmates called in the boneyard. Wow. How do we know how many conjugals? Because you Google it. I'm sure she Googled it. Ostrich says, sorry you are in so much pain, Ron. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Listen, I'm a trooper. I'll make it. Don't worry about me. I'll make it. Yes, I'm hitting the ibuprofen. I'm hitting the Tylenol. They had to go so deep to cut out that skin cancer on my forehead. And, I mean, it was bad. I'm not going to lie. It was bad. It's deep. The whole left side of my skull is numb. Tonight is the last night. This is the last night I have to sleep sitting up. So maybe that'll help, because I'm not getting much sleep. I'm sure that's adding to my headaches. And honestly, I'm drinking a lot of Coca-Cola, and I'm smoking a hell of a lot of cigarettes. So don't judge me, okay? I like my cigarettes. I like my Coca-Cola. It is what it is. So if I died tonight, I'm going to die happy, smoking my cigarettes and drinking my Coca-Cola. That's where I'm at with it. So I know I don't like the smell of smoke either. I don't like it when somebody goes outside in the winter and they smell like smoke and they come in and they stink. I don't like the smell of smoke, but I am a smoker. I'm very sensitive nose. Christopher Hughes. Father God, we ask as family for you to guide this court system to find justice for these ladies that lost their lives in such a vain way. Thank you, Father God. Amen. I agree. You know, again, I'm going to reiterate, I have no mercy for the 5 at all. at all. And we got to make sure that there's justice that's done for Jillian, Kelly, and Veronica Butler and their families. Justice has to be done. And I'm curious, those of you guys that's from the area, how do you feel about it being moved? Because I know, let me say this. In the Idaho 4 case, it took over 2 years to move that case. Okay? But the reason they tried to keep the case there is because, like in the song, this was all planned. And a lot of things are being hidden. Not only that, Moscow got millions of dollars for that trial. So does Guyman get grant money for trials too? I'm just asking. Because I'm not understanding Oklahoma. So I would assume that they also get grant money for big trials, which would be federal money. But at some point, you don't even use your body cams. So, I mean, what do you need the money for, I guess? You're not using body cams. And, also, just because I'm on this subject. So we saw the Texas sheriff say, oh, we searched. We went a mile east, a mile west, a mile north, and a mile south. And then we stopped. And we saw videos where it looked like it was the fire department. And then I had a couple of farmers tell me they were out there on ATVs. And it wasn't a very long search. And then we have a law enforcement officer that tells us that he was on the Kansas side and came down to help search. And they told him they didn't need help. I've never understood that. I get it. But they saw the car and they knew something horrific had happened. But how can you judge whether Veronica and Jillian was still alive or not? You did not have their bodies. I'll never, ever understand it. And also, do you have dogs? In that area at all? Do you got dogs? Could you have called dogs in? What about drones? I know for a fact, and everybody that was sitting there across from four corners with me that night, one of you're going to know exactly what I was talking about. We had a drone over us, and it was 11 o'clock at night, dark, and we had a drone over us. We could hear it, we could see it, and one of the ladies was freaking out. She got in the car, was yelling at her friend, come on, let's go, let's get out of here. It was crazy. So whose drone was that? I saw in one of the chats, one of my live chats, somebody said, yeah, that was my brother out there flying a drone. Well, how old's your brother? What kind of drone does he got? Because it was right over us. So, I don't know. I don't think by what we see now that the extended search would have made any difference. But that don't make an excuse as why you didn't do an extended search, why you didn't have a control command center, and why you wasn't doing searches up until you found the bodies. I mean, if you knew everything that Saturday, then why did it take 2 weeks to recover the bodies? And basically 2 weeks to arrest 4 people. And then, so while we're on that, you arrest 4 people, and then Paul Grice is drunk, he's lied to you. You meet him again at 4 Corners. OSBI does. This is what Paul Grice said, right? And he confesses to the murders. And they said, oh, well, we can't arrest you because we don't have a warrant. Go home. We'll call you when we got your warrant. You can turn yourself in. Okay, in what law enforcement does that ever happen? Somebody just confessed to doing the murders and you're going to send them home because you don't have a warrant? I need that explained to me because I do not understand. Because here, I'm telling you, Ellie could be outside and they can get a warrant sent on their phone and the judge sign it. That quick. You guys ain't that far behind in times in the panhandle. Or is it just laziness? I don't know. I'm asking you guys. Nora says, hi all, do what you want to do whenever you want to. These murders are all hiney heads for real. Okay, Nora, you're talking about the Idaho 4. I hope somebody got rid of that comment because you're just wasting our time. Okay? So make sure everybody avoids Nora and you're something else. I don't have my cell phone going today, so I got 5 minutes left. What do you guys want to talk about? No, maybe not Brian, but they better than what I kicked 18 years ago. We all need one vice. Yeah, I know. I know I should quit. But it is what it is. Okay, Brian says, oh, honey, I am there. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, everybody in recovery, you know, whether it's alcohol, drugs, like, I'm proud of you. You know, the first thing to being a good human is admitting the facts that that you had a problem and you was able to overcome it. Oh, somebody sent me something I need to look real quick because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Let's see here. Oh, I want to show you guys something too. Let's see here. Okay. The mods send stuff to my phone, so I want to make sure I didn't miss anything, guys. Let's see here. Okay, I want to show you something else too that Bianca made. It's pretty cool. How do I do this? I'm not sure. Let me see if I can get this. I'm going to make myself go over. Look at this. You know I like Teddy Swims, so I'm going to try to send this to my computer and play it. See if it'll let me play it. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. I might have to download it. There it is. Oh no, my internet is moving so slow. Very slow. I haven't even had a chance to put this on my StreamYard yet. Oh, it's not going to let me share it either. Let's see. Well, let's see if I can add it and show it to you guys. Add video clip. And let's see here. 58 minutes. We're at 58 minutes. Okay, here it is. See if it'll show it to you. And I'll catch up with comments too. It's downloading now. She's over an hour working on 3. No, it says 59.06. I am watching it, Christopher. I want to make sure that we didn't miss anything. I know, listen, we might even go live later. I don't know. Sometimes I feel really bad because some people don't get in. Again, I did go look at Tiffany's. Her attorney hasn't filed anything. It looks like court is still going to be on. We're going to go a little bit over an hour. Looks like court's still on for April 16th. Is what it looks like to me. Let's see here. Cigarettes, heroin, and booze, but I cannot kick this habit. I'm a crime junkie now. Gave up everything else, but she's a crime junkie and can't give it up. Brian says, stop it. Okay. I like to think I'm a good soul. I think sometimes my bluntness is a thing. So maybe, Nora, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I misunderstood you. So maybe I misunderstood your comment. So I'm going to apologize to you right now. I have a headache, and I'm trying to go through these comments, so I will go back and look at it. Because if nobody took that comment out, I read it wrong, and my apologies to you. Vincent and Hedges. Let's see here. Again, the mods are great. The family's great. You guys, you run our channel great. Again, I'm going to have to go back and look at that comment. I guess I misread it. I don't know. Research the trolls. That is step one, Rock. Honestly, admitting you have a problem. You have 2-minute warning at Rock. Well, we're at 101. So we are going to get off of here. I'm going to see. Bianca spends a lot of time making stuff for the show, and I love it. I love every bit of it. So here we go.
Something's got a hold on me lately. Oh, I don't know myself. Feels like the water all closing in, and the devil's walking my door. Oh, out of my mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good? Yeah, taking a toll on me, trying my best to be tipping my skin, my bones. Don't you know I when you're lying next to me, I'm falling apart right in front of you. Can't you see?
Okay, thank you, Micah. Yeah, listen, I apologize to her. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, everybody. Again, I misread it, and I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I'm sorry. I'll try to do better, okay? Christopher. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about this. I am not going to go over it at all. But we were digging last night in the Ohio case, me and Dempsey. And anyway, I think she fell asleep. That lady puts in some long hours. God bless her soul. She does. She puts in some hard work. She really does. But she fell asleep, so I was just looking through stuff, and I disconnected her and disconnected Christopher. And up come this thing on Law and Crime. I watch Law and Crime a lot. And it said, lady gets arrested for sexual acts on Instagram with her dog. Go look at it. It's horrible. And no, Christopher, I'm not going to go over it. But I did send it to Christopher so he could see it. That's why he's asking me if I'll go over it. Like, no, I will not go over it. But this lady was getting paid money. Thank you, Micah. This lady was getting paid to do sexual acts with a Chihuahua. And then somebody paid her like $5,000 to do a sexual act with a Labrador. Like, what is this world coming to? I don't understand. I'll never understand. Let me get through these. Well, I love you too, Bianca, and you do an awesome job. Everybody does an awesome job. Everybody definitely is a family here. You guys work so well together. I love it. Micah says, I may not always talk in chat, but I am watching and reading chat. Yes, I know that, and thank you so very much. Again, I see on my TV that Nora has made a comment. I'm trying to get to you, Nora. My friend made it successfully out of heart transplant surgery. All right. Thanks for the prayers, everyone. I meant to ask you about that. Shame on me, and I did not ask about it. Thank you for letting us know. I've loved the tune. Yeah, I like some Teddy Swims. I guess over in Amsterdam, he just walks up and just starts singing to people. Man, that would be awesome. Okay. I cut off your tune. I know. Okay, here we go. Again, my apologies. All good, Rock. I was out of the room. I think I had hit on 3 different subjects, points. Peace and gummy bears. Yes, Nora. I misunderstood your comment. And I'm sorry. Truly, I am sorry. Sometimes I try to make sure everybody that comes in this room is acknowledged and gets to say their piece. And sometimes, listen, we have trolls. Deb gets them usually right off the bat. So by the time I get to your comment, but what I will tell you, when I'm on my computer, if your comment gets removed, it still shows up for me. So, and I'm trying to show you guys things. I'm trying to get through a fast live because I take up so much of your time. And I'm trying to get through the live fast that, I'm trying to go through the comments, trying to make sure that everybody is, their comments are said. I haven't left anything out. And I am fixing to get it off of here. So if there's anything that anybody needs to say, here's your time to say it. Again, I went and looked on the OSCN on the Kansas Moms case. After it was brought to my attention by one of our good family members here, as soon as they saw it, they sent it. And I went to OSCN and looked it up. That is Tad. Says this judge has to recuse himself because he was an attorney for Tiffany Adams. So why wouldn't this judge recuse himself? And if Tiffany had hired him before, what would make him okay to do her case too? Like, I think y'all should ask questions. Dead Sea is the fastest troll basher. Yeah, listen, we had a couple trolls yesterday, and Deb got them, and Girly Girl got them before anybody ever saw them. So, but that still goes to on my screen. But usually, I'll be honest with you, usually I have my phone going, and I have Rock Chalk Dabbles going, and I just got too much of a headache to be watching my TV, doing the computer, watching my phone, and paying attention to chat. So, with that said, I apologize. But I hope I didn't get too sideways with you. I don't think I did. I was just like, this comment makes no sense. Let's get it out of here. You probably already did. And I'll go back and read it. Anyway, it's Thursday. You guys have a great rest of your day. Most of you got an hour and you'll be off work. And I am at an hour and 7 minutes. Yes, I love your guys' time too. And, I know that the mods dedicate themselves to this channel. And if I go 3 hours, they stay for the 3 hours. And it's not fair to them. And that's another reason why we got so many wrenches. Like Bianca, she hates to leave. She left earlier. She had something she had to do. Like, I don't want everybody to always feel like you have to be here. I appreciate it. But sometimes we just get to talking again. And some people are not getting their notifications. And here I am signing off. They come in. I feel like I've got to, acknowledge them, give them a little bit of my time. And I'll be honest with you, most people won't go back and watch a 3-hour live. I mean, I've been told I have an ass voice. I mean, I don't even like my voice. So I'll take that as a compliment because I don't even like to go back and listen to myself. If I have to go back and look at something, honestly, I mute it when it's my voice. I mean, I've always been that way, even when we had an answering machine. If I'd left a message for my mom and dad, I didn't want to hear it because it sounded horrible. With that said, yes, everybody have a wonderful evening. Much love to everybody there. Christopher Hughes being a good sport. Listen, he is a tool. Put the hammer on there. He's a tool. Christopher knows he's a tool. He keeps trying to send me down these damn rabbit holes, I'm telling you. Anyway, much love to all you guys. And we'll see you at the next live. We will try to keep you updated. I mean, we're going to have to watch to see what happens with this Kansas case. I know you guys are really, most of you are into the Kansas case. We're going to stay on top of the Idaho 4. I'm not going to keep going through it. I'm just going to give you the updates that I've got. Over in that community, it got really crazy. And yeah, I'm not going to be part of that mess. Let's see here. Guys, remind me, yes or no? They're all being tried together, right? Well, that's what they're trying to do. Honestly, I don't know how legally they can do that without setting up things for, they did their hearings together. Listen, I can't tell you how Oklahoma's going to do anything, but I'll be honest with you, I don't know how they can do all 5 of them together without having big openings for appeals. So, guess we'll have to wait and see. Also, Tad's supposed to have court on April 16th. Tiffany's supposed to have court on April 16th, and so is all Grice. With that said, now that Tad's attorney's put out there that, hey, we want you to recuse yourself, and now we know why, because he was Tiffany's attorney. Will the judge recuse himself from all these cases? Will this case get moved? It says in the process of trying to get him recused that he can't hear anything on Tad, so sounds like to me Tad won't be having court on the 16th. So that is how I see it. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a judge. But that's what it looks like to me. So I'm just going to tell you it's very possible that Deb says, I'm still digging into the Kansas Mom's case. I have 10 different subjects every day. Yes, you do. We talk about this case nonstop and other cases that people in the family want to talk about and dig into. So we will keep on this. Again, I'm just giving you a heads up. Don't be surprised if April 16th don't get moved. I don't know. If you got all this out there that the judge needs to be recused, and it sounds like at the very least there's a conflict of interest going there, in my opinion, it very well could happen. So with that said, much love to everybody, and we are going to get out of here.